Righto, now we're going to do a ponytail. This is a Fashion Week ponytail. You're going to do a directional blow dry to smooth this hair out and distribute it into the position that we want it. We're going to tie a ponytail using hat elastic. You're going to learn how to hold and tie the ponytail yourself, how to secure the ponytail using a special knotting technique, and then how to cover the elastic without using any pins. So brush this hair out. Make sure that the hair doesn't have any tangles, and then you're going to put a nice clean center part in the hair, and then you're going to use your blow dryer and your cushion brush to directionally blow dry the hair and flatten out any lumps and bumps at the roots. Now you're going to look for three things when you're directionally blow drying, and those three things are perimeter, silhouette, and texture. We'll explain those as we go through the technique. So find a nice clean spot at the front hairline in the center. Separate that hair into a nice clean parting. So working with your blow dryer on high speed, high heat with your cushion brush. To be honest, you can use any sort of brush that you want to do this, but what you want to do is make sure that you catch the hair from the roots with tension and stretch those roots into the direction you want your directional blow drying to set up your ponytail. So once you've done your directional blow dry, go through and check your parting again. Make sure that that's nice and clean as you can possibly get on a mannequin head. Once you've checked your parting, if you find that there's any more little comb marks, you can use your comb and your blow dryer just to control those. When I say comb marks, what I mean is the set marks left over from your set, or any marks, growth patterns that are going to distract your eye when you're looking at this thing being a nice clean pony. When you're doing this exercise, what you're looking for when you look in the mirror is a clean parting that runs straight. You're looking for a clean perimeter line, or the line around the hairline where the face and the hair meet. Sometimes we call that the tide line, where makeup and hair run into each other and sometimes clash. And then you want to look at the silhouette as well. One thing to think about when you're looking at the silhouette is, have you ever done that where you've gone and done a ponytail and then you look and it's kind of got a bump over here? That's what we call the silhouette. So you want to just smooth that out and make sure that it's nice and flat through the crown there. And you can do this trick, move around up and down and look at the outside line from multiple angles to make sure that there's no lumps or bumps or anything sticking out. So now we're going to do the ponytail. Once you've done your directional blow dry and you've got your parting set, you're going to work with a piece of elastic. So this is hat elastic or millinery elastic. And you're going to use a tail comb, and a cushion brush. So work with your cushion brush. Brush all the hair down to the hairline at center back and gather it all up. Now you'll find with your mannequins that it's a little bit trickier around the ears than it is on people who have nice, soft, squishy ears that you can tuck hair behind. But the good thing about that is that if you can do it on a mannequin, you can do it on a real people. Brushing that hair down in its natural falling position and holding it not too tight. You're holding it loose enough so that you can get distribution of the hair, but you're not holding it so tight that it's going to get all gathered up and bunched up where you want to secure the ponytail. So brush that through, make sure that it's all nice and smooth and tucked behind the ear there, evenly distributed. And what you're aiming to do with this exercise is just to get as much even distribution and tension right around the ponytail as you can. When you feel like it's fairly evenly sort of brushed and tense, then you can take your tail comb and, starting at the parting, comb that hair from the roots through to the ends to get any of those little lumps and bumps and snags out of the hair. Find a little catchy bit there and make sure you comb that all the way through. And this is where you'll be glad that you're holding or securing the hair below the base of where you want to tie it. Comb the hair using the fine teeth of your tail comb from the parting, combing through the roots all the way down towards where you're holding or gathered your ponytail, so that you can comb out all of those little snags and lumps that happen to start to appear in there. Smooth it over with your hand. Make sure you've got all the lumps and bumps out. And as you start to gather it and move the spot where you're going to tie the ponytail slightly closer to the hairline, you're going to smooth those little lumps and bumps out. You can use the heel of your hand, you can use the muscle on the edge of your hand, you can use your fingers, just to make sure that that's all your lumps and bumps are gone. You'll use your brush and your comb one more time before you secure this. And if you want to, you can use a pastiche brush like this, just for a little finer finish, because you've got all the lumps and bumps and snags and knots out. This just helps to smooth the hair a little bit further. And then one last smooth over with your hands. Now, at this point, you might find that you have a couple of little bubbles just down here before you tie it up, so get those out. And you can use a very light spray of light hold hairspray from a distance, just to help you smooth over any last little flyaways that might be starting to appear. So now you're going to secure that ponytail nice and tight at the nape there, and you're going to take your elastic, and while you're holding this nice and firm with your left hand, if you're right-handed, you're going to pop that ponytail in about a quarter of the length sticking out of here. This is what you're going to use to tie off with. Then you take the longer length, you go underneath, wrap it around, and make sure that's secured nice and tight. And then you're just going to raise your knuckle and then lock it back down using your knuckle to secure the elastic in place for a second while you come over and grab it with the other hand. Wrap that around a couple of times, just locking it in place with your knuckle. Wrap that around another time. And then you're going to take the first end, or the short end that you left out, tuck it over in a normal kind of granny knot, and then you're going to wrap it one more time as if you're doing a fishing knot. Now don't watch me do this. This is meant to be unhygienic and terrible. But if it's okay for the Japanese masters, it's okay for me. So by doing a double granny knot like that, it allows you to pull that tight and secure it so that you can lock it off without having to have someone else's finger on that holding it tight. And then one more time, lock that off, and then trim the ends of your elastic off.